Well, we unfortunately keep being reminded about how quickly wildfires can completely change our lives. Well, there are some things you can do to try and help protect your property. Well, Danny caught up with Michelle Steinberg to learn more about Wildfire Preparedness Day.
Well, Michelle, thank you so much for taking the time. This is obviously a very important discussion and topic to talk about today. So today is a Wildfire Preparedness Day. Tell us more about what the goal is and what this day means.
Right. Wildfire Community Preparedness Day was actually piloted way back in 2013 in Colorado. We were looking at a way to get youth involved in a community service day and testing it out, and it turned out all the grown-ups wanted to be part of it as well. So it's become a national celebration of getting people together to start to reduce their risk on a single day in May, even though that is something you can be doing all year round. It's just that rallying point, and it's a way for people to learn about wildfire risks and the very key things that they can do around homes and in neighborhoods to become safer.
That's so huge and so important, obviously, for us here in Colorado, especially as we enter into wildfire season. Can you share some tips on ways that we can try and protect our homes every day?
Absolutely. So really, these are very simple things, and what we want to make sure people know is that what we're trying to protect against for the most part are embers, and those are the pieces of burning material that are coming off the main part of the wildfire that can blow for miles and start their own spot fires in communities and on your home. And so any little places around your home or on your home where you've seen like leaves or needles accumulate, especially over the winter, that's a good time to kind of clean them out, because that's the areas that embers will also blow into, those typical areas. And if that material's there, it will ignite. And so we recommend for people to take those steps to remove that kind of material, and also check around the home to make sure there aren't any openings that embers could get into, such as unscreened vents underneath decks, pet doors, even during high fire danger times. For the vents and things like that, you can use metal mesh screening to prevent that ember entry while still having some airflow.
Wow, Michelle, there are so many spots right now on my home that I thought of when you said that. So I'm so happy you're bringing this up. I'm sure people at home feel the same. You also have some risk reduction projects going on right now. Tell us more about those.
Right. So in addition to doing the things right around your home, it's really important to work with your neighbors. And so if you can imagine homes that are closer than 100 feet, if one home should ignite, a burning home just sends off so much heat, and that will start to ignite the next home and the next. So if you have, for example, a shared fence line, perfect time to chat with your neighbor over the fence about what you can both do to minimize your collective risk. And then maybe think about particularly things for Wildfire Community Preparedness Day are beautiful opportunities to look around the neighborhood and see who needs help. We have many communities that use that day, use other times a year to support neighbors who might not be able to get the work done on their own for various reasons. Seniors in our community might need some help. So it's a really nice time to help them get rid of any accumulated material that could pose a threat during a wildfire.
I really like that. Grab a pitcher of lemonade and help out a neighbor and just really make sure that you're mitigating well. Now, another thing that I want to highlight too are those home ignition zones. You touched on this a little bit. I want to come back to it. What do we need to know about these areas and keep in mind as we're doing our mitigation work?
Right. So the home ignition zone, that's a phrase that's coined by fire scientists who realized if the home does ignite, it doesn't burn, which seems kind of simple, but when you look at the aftermath of things like we saw in Los Angeles just in January, people tend to think, oh, this was a hotter fire, or it looks like, people will say it looks like an explosion happened, all these homes are flattened. Well, they got that way because one home ignited and the next home ignited and the next home ignited. So when we break that chain, that's the really critical thing. So a lot of people, when they see these big events, they really get disheartened, and they almost can't believe that these simple things can make a difference. But we're here to tell you that they do make a difference, and they can make a difference.
Absolutely. Well, before I let you go, Michelle, how can we get more information? And again, make sure we get that pitcher of lemonade so we can help out our neighbors.
We would love everybody to visit wildfireprepday.org. That's one of NFPA's websites that gives you everything you need to know to start your project and work with your neighbors to be safer.
Amazing. Michelle, thank you so much for taking the time. Again, so important to talk about, especially going into fire season here in Colorado. But no matter what time, this is something we should all keep in mind. So we appreciate you taking the time.
It was my pleasure speaking with you. Thanks.
Indeed, and now is the time to consider taking some steps to protect your home against the unknown. For more info, head to nfpa.org.